Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. As always, I'm your host, Mero Fatemi. Getting right back into our last segment of the show here. Um, we got three games on. We're gonna. Well, we can talk about. Yeah, why not? Well, I don't know. After honestly, I built this title thinking, absolutely forgetting that I don't have a show tomorrow or Sunday. So we might just scratch this whole thing. We'll still talk about Boston and Indiana, how their keys of their series. We'll talk about it briefly, but I kind of want to give it a little bit of an update across the board because these NBA games are no joke, and I really think I think a prediction looking into the weekend slate could be just better overall. I like it more, so we're going with that. Um, so in game one, of course, we have Boston heading into Orlando tonight. I'm expecting no Jayson Tatum in this one once again. I'm still dealing with that wrist injury overall, and just it's a tough blow to this Boston Celtics team. But at the same time, they're facing an Orlando Magic team that's struggling offensively so far in this season, playing good defensively, don't get me wrong, but offensively having issues down the stretch, especially in the fourth quarter. The experience of the Boston Celtics showing up time and time again in the fourth quarter, even though the games are getting close. The Magic last or 2 nights ago, bringing the game within 2 points in game two, and game one having the lead going into the half. And then the third quarter being the Celtics uh, uh, light switch, flipping the switch, if you want to call it. That's the word I'm look. That's the phrase I'm looking for the Celtics offense. But yeah, I'm probably picking Boston to win this one. Orlando could give them problems. I think Paolo would need to have a honestly, they need to have a night the way they did against Atlanta. If they could show up and shoot the way they did, like they did against Atlanta, and give the Celtics problems with Cole Anthony Black shooting the ball lights out, Paulo Banchero shooting pretty well, Franz Wagner being an impact in the low post. If they can do that and still play good defense, they have a shot to beat Boston tonight. Absolutely. But do I think that'll happen? I mean, we're not pretty much we're I'm not gonna base predictions off of the luck standpoint. I'll give a scenario where it happens, and that's a scenario where that happens. But in terms of legitimate talent, in terms of who should win this game, and based on how the first two games have gone, who will win this game, I'm going with Boston to go up 3-0 in this series. And most likely, Jayson Tatum will not be seen in this series going into game four as well. I expect the Celtics to take care of business. Win game three, win game four. Game four, I believe, is on Sunday. Yep, it is on Sunday night. So this series should be over by Monday, and I will be able to. I'm projecting to recap it on Monday. So I'll get that ready to go. But getting into the next game here, we got the Pacers and the Bucks. A series that really was scheduled, that was circled in the Eastern Conference prior to these playoffs starting. Obviously, we know the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, they have Damian Lillard back. I see, what is that, channel about nada. That's a funny name. Go Bucks. Yeah, I mean, if the Bucks want to win this game, if the Bucks want to still be competitive and have a chance in this series, they have to win tonight. We need to see Giannis going for 40 points. We need to see Damian Lillard go for a nice go do a little bit better than 14. Have if you can have about 18, 19, 20 points maybe, just lighten the burden on Giannis a little bit. Give Giannis a little bit of an opportunity. Give him show him a glimmer of light to give him a chance to win this game, because we know Giannis can go off for 40 and 10 in his sleep. Especially in Milwaukee, it gives them a chance to win this game. We'll see how this game ends up transpiring. But I do have to. This is really do or die for Giannis. But I hate to be the bringer of bad news, man, or channel about nada. I I think this Pacers team is just one of the dark horses of the Eastern Conference right now. How deep they are, I think The depth is the difference of this series. Top heavy, you have Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal Siakam going against Giannis and Damian Lillard. Of course, that's not a good matchup. But after those top two guys, look at the rest. You have Myles Turner, you have Aaron Nesmith, Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin. You have a plethora of guys on this Pacers team that can go off for 10 plus, 15 plus points a game whenever they want. And I didn't even mention Andrew Nemhard. And then you have on the other side, it's just like it's you can't you can't compare apples to oranges in terms of levels of depth. I think the Pacers just depth give the Bucks so many problems, especially with their second line, especially when Giannis needs a break, when Damian Lillard needs a break. It's a similar situation with the Los Angeles Lakers in terms of how their depth is a big issue with this team, with that team. I think the depth is going to be a big issue, and I just don't know how they're going to be able to combat that. I do see you're typing in the chat. Pascal Siakam has been a difference maker for the Pacers. Absolutely. And he's a former champion with the Toronto Raptors. He has the championship experience. A young team in the Indiana Pacers who went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year are just going to continue to try and build on that team. Still have that core group of guys that went there last year too. So they're just going to continue to build on that confidence. And we're seeing Tyrese Haliburton, who's becoming... How Tyrese Haliburton is being named as the most overrated player in the NBA right now is baffling to me. I understand that he's one of the best. Like, I understand that his offensive game is basically non-existent. I know, especially in the regular season, he averages like 5 points and 12 assists some games. I get it. But in the playoffs, we know what Tyrese Haliburton is in the playoffs. He's the same assist guy that he is in the regular season, but add another 15, 20 points a game in the playoffs. That's Tyrese Haliburton. I've said it before on the show, he's very Magic Johnson-esque in terms of his style of play. He doesn't have the defense that Magic Johnson has, absolutely not. But in terms of pure point guard, making your teammates around you better, being able to facilitate the offense, pass the ball, and assist demon. Imagine the assist handle of Steve Nash, but with the height of Magic Johnson and the shot of... Who can I compare him to in terms of shooting? Imagine the shot of like a younger Jayson Tatum. I don't know. But that's Tyrese Haliburton. He's a great player. He's a young, great player that's really blossoming into a superstar in this league. And I think he's more underrated right now, I think, than he is overrated. So I think there's a lot of... I really think the Pacers are one of the most underrated teams in the Eastern Conference. Based on their depth, based on their star players, and they're a team a lot of people are looking over. Yes, these two teams do hate each other. It's going to be fireworks in Milwaukee. I think this is going to be... I don't know if you remember early in the regular season when Tyrese Haliburton hit the game winner over Giannis to win the game. Right? It was either a game winner or it was a foul on the 3-point shot that ended up being... No, it was a 3-pointer and a foul. It was a 4-point play to win the game. I actually remember that now. Sorry, I forgot about that. I think it's going to be a similar situation to that with how close the game's going to be tonight. I think Giannis is going to have a field day. He's going to take the bull by the horns, do or die, like you said, and I think he's going to have that mentality going into this game. And it's going to be interesting to see how Indiana responds. I think that Indiana bench is going to have to step up to the plate and be able to take care of some of the slack that the starting lineup can't deal with, and what Giannis gives them in terms of his play. So it'll be an interesting game, but I still got the Pacers winning this one, going up 3-0. I just don't think Doc Rivers is a good coach. I think Doc Rivers has to go after this year. I'm so sorry, but like after his stints in LA, his stint in Philadelphia, where else did he coach? Didn't he coach in Phoenix as well? Or I think he coached twice in Milwaukee. That's the one I'm thinking of. Overall, anyway, he's a player that needs to go. He really does. He's a guy that needs to go into the sunset, and I don't know. he's a guy that needs to walk away from the game of basketball. Head back into the broadcast booth. Doc Rivers was a great broadcaster alongside Mike Breen when he was doing it. He did it for a couple months, if you guys remember, before he got offered the job in Milwaukee. So we'll see how that ends up transpiring. If Milwaukee loses, we blow up the franchise. I think Giannis requests a trade out. I think that's a segment, as a topic for another day, because what is going to happen to Giannis if this team gets swept again, or loses in the first round once again? They just haven't been. You guys haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals since the year that you guys won it all. You lost to the Boston Celtics in 2022. 2023, obviously the Miami year. I know that year stings. It stings for us Boston Celtics fans too. Miami did the same thing, turned around and did the same thing to us. 2024, what was it? Indiana? Was it Indiana in 2024? I think so. It was Indiana once again in 2024. And now the Indiana do it again. The Pacers do it once again to you guys. I think Giannis just wants to win. He wants to compete for championships, and he's probably going to be out on that one. I don't know. It's just unfortunate to see. I think maybe Milwaukee can win a game and stretch the series over to a game 5, but I don't know if I can pick it. It's hard. My heart says that Milwaukee's going to win one of these games because I do love Giannis. I think Giannis is going to go off and have a 50, 40-point game. I think Damian Lillard's blood clots and injuries down the stretch really hurt this team, and we didn't see Damian Lillard. The worst part about this is we might not see Damian Lillard and Giannis on the court together in the playoffs, healthy. Last year we didn't see it. Damian Lillard was hurt. Wait. No, Giannis was hurt last year. Excuse me. This year, Damian Lillard is hurt. And even though he's coming back into the lineup, this is a guy that's coming off blood clot treatment, the guy that hasn't had any contact in the NBA in terms of physical play outside of Game 2, where he only had 14 points and didn't really shoot the ball very well. I don't know how much of a impact he's going to have. That's the thing. So I don't know. I think the injuries, I think a revamp of the offense is much needed. Maybe you go. Kyle Kuzma is out there doing cardio. It looked like a good trade early on, but I just don't know. You guys got Kyle Kuzma out of the penitentiary known as the Washington Wizards, brought him out to a new team, and it's just like, it's unfortunate to see that he's just not performed to the level that we thought he would. Giannis will be a warrior. I could really see it, honestly. I think that we have to come back to this topic another day. Absolutely. I cannot wait to have that discussion. It's probably going to be an after the season discussion just because I don't know. The NBA playoffs are so there's so much going on in the NBA world right now. But definitely we are going to have the discussion of where Giannis is going to go. Last note, Giannis might go. We've seen some reports of him really liking the New York area. I would not be shocked if he went to the Knicks or he went to the Nets. The Nets are a prime destination that want him. Does he want to go to the Nets? Most likely not. But I think he'd much rather go to the Warriors for sure. But that'll do it for me today, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't even get to the weekend slate just because we kind of got into that Indiana-Boston debate, especially that Indiana-Milwaukee series. It's fireworks. I love talking about it. It's one of the ones that I circled before the playoffs started. And I wish it could go on a little bit longer. I wish Damian Lillard could be healthy in these playoffs, but it just isn't. We can always hope. Unfortunate. It's an unfortunate place to be. But thank you guys for tuning in to the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference, more than you guys think. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again for another unbelievable show. Happy Friday to you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Channel About Nada, keep doing your thing, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Happy basketball. Keep watching the NBA world because it is all unfolding right now. Hopefully the Pacers are still in it. I mean, the Bucks are still in it. Hopefully the Orlando Magic are in it, still in it. Hopefully the Memphis Grizzlies are still in it. But there is a real world that these 3 series could be over by Monday. This is Myles Turner, the host of the GSMC Basketball Podcast, signing off. Bye-bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to